Hey guys, Ron Musgraves, Pressure Washing Institute here. I am here tonight with the one and only, you guys know, Pat Clark, guys. We're doing this video tonight, and I just want to tell everybody what the reason we're doing this video, kind of bring them up to speed. You're pretty much a freelance guy now. You know, you're
Hmm.
out on your own. You did the franchising thing. You sold that. You were doing some other things. That's come to an end, and now you're out there. And tell everybody what the immediate things are that you're doing right now. What do we got going on? What events you're going to be at in the coming 60 days, and then you and I, after you get done with that, we'll talk about what we might be doing.
Yeah. No, I'm actually super pumped because we're back in the industry. Giving back. We're launching really Sub Club, right? So Sub Club is the subscription model. So we've been really pushing this for the exterior cleaning industry, and I think the biggest thing is like with Sub Club, that's the main thing, but that's not only the thing, right? It's like so I'm going to be speaking at the huge convention this year. I'm super pumped, a little nervous, I'll be honest, but I'm going to be speaking on main stage this year. And so going to be kind of telling my story and in a different way and a story that I've never told before. And so it's going to really be, I'm hoping it's going to be impactful. So we got, that going on at the huge. We have our convention for Sub Club coming up in August, which is the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. So we're going to do a mini, and it's only limited to 40 people. So we're doing like a mini conference just for the subscription model for people that are like, I've been trying it because, we've been trying to do it on the residential sector in the exterior cleaning industry. We've really, our whole industry, right, is trying to break that code. And I know some people are doing it, right? There's some people are doing it, 2 times a year, 3 times a year, 4 times a year. Well, we've really broken the code with the maintenance program through Sub Club. Dealing down in Orlando, Florida, is just about to crack the $1 million bubble there with just reoccurring revenue, and it's phenomenal, right? Yeah,
Two trucks.
2 trucks. Yep, 2 trucks.
That's the crazy thing that you got to talk about.
Yeah,
Two
with
trucks.
only 2 trucks and 2 technicians, 1 technician per truck. So he's really worked it out to where you've seen like churn, and you've seen customers where they drop. He's worked out all the kinks. The way I explain it, Ron, is like he's kind of Iron Man, went up above the clouds, his suit iced over, if you will, right? He falls back down. He's like, all right, I got to make some adjustments, right? So then the next time he goes back up, but somebody's chasing him, his suit freezes. Well, Iron Man's doesn't. So what I'm saying there is he's worked out the kinks to make this thing a streamlined process to where the customers are very, very happy, but you don't give away the farm. So you don't clean the whole property. You don't do an initial clean and clean everything. You clean some of the things and you break it down, and it's nicely laid out. Everything's matchy-matchy. And so he's really broken the code. And he was like, Pat, let me show you what we got going on, man. So we partnered up, and we're excited, dude. We've had like 5, 10 people signing up per week. So we're up over 74 members so far, in the last month. So super excited
Yeah.
for that. We're going to be bringing on some key players as far as coaches. We got Elena, we got Jonathan Manyard. We're talking to some other guys. So, as this thing grows, we really want to, have the right people in this to build a community to where we can go there and like things are going to come up, right? Like when you start a new program in anything, things are going to come up. You need training. You need to know what to do now, right? And so that's where this community, we have a private Facebook page. So that's our main focus. And then outside of that, I'm going to be going around and doing what I normally did, right? Like giving back, talking to my past self, like I've done for years. We're going to be doing trainings. We're going to be doing hands-on training. A lot of cool stuff, I think, to come. And, we're going to be doing events. So I'm super pumped for that. We got a lot of places we're going to be coming in the next coming months. And so a lot of cool stuff, I think, coming for our industry as it's evolving, right? We got AI coming in. There's a lot of neat things, and people are going a little faster, but at the same time, people feel like they're getting left behind, but they're not, right? And there's a systematic way to do this in the right way. So, I think we're going to be bringing some really cool stuff to the industry through free events. And that's the key, right?
What I think people, when you say the free events, I don't think people realize that you're out there right now laying down content like you've never laid down. And that's one of the other things I want to mention, that make sure you're following Pat, make sure you get a hold of his profile. I don't know if he's made his own patclark.com page yet, but I think you need to, Pat. That's where you really should be putting that stuff. But he's laying down a lot of content, and this is the stuff that he built. You built your operations on this stuff, and I don't think people realize that. And you're now that stuff, you're giving it away. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen the videos. You're just giving that stuff away, and I want to go that route because we sit and we talk about. So many people talk about systems, okay? And, systems. I don't think that people realize that they're building the systems when they wake up in the morning. You go to the bathroom, you go get a cup of coffee, you read the newspaper, you unload last night's dishes. I think that it works the same in the business. I just think that people don't have it documented. You know what I mean? They just don't document
it. All in their head.
And that's what makes it difficult to replicate it and train it, right?
Yeah.
Because something that's up here can't be replicated and trained. And then they also want to make systems complicated. We all know can't be complicated, man. Machines, equipment, things like that, they can't be complicated. And I think that's the thing that you're doing right now is people realize that information that you're giving out, the walk around videos, the checklist, all those things are just as important, because I know when people go to these conferences, they all too get so focused on sales, marketing, systems. When in reality, it drives me out of my mind when people say, well, we can clean a house. It's just cleaning a house. It's just shooting water. Man, when you clean a house for $10 and it costs you $11 to clean the house, you didn't make any money. You have to be able to do this stuff efficiently, effectively, safely, and you have to be good at it, And I don't think people take enough stock in that this is a symbiotic thing, that you have to do all of these things well, and there isn't one or less that's any less important than the other one, because we all know, and I remember, maybe you'll remember this. I said, Pat, getting the customers is the easy part. Remember what I said after that? Keeping them is the difficult part. And that's the real thing there. And I don't think people understand that. And they don't understand that customers don't care about the price when the relationships are built. When the relationships are built up, then they're asking you, hey man, is there going to be an increase this year? We're prepared for it. They'll tell you, what I mean, what the increase is. And that's the kind of stuff right now. If you guys are following Pat, if you're not, make sure you are following him, because the bottom line is he's out there right now. He's giving that stuff up. He's giving it to the community. He's giving it for free. I'm assuming it's a payback. I mean, of what you've been given, because I know this. Paid mentors, free mentors. It's a combination of many people that have taught both of us. There's no one person in the world that's ever going to be the guy that says, hey, I've got the magic lamp, and we're going to rub that thing and the genie's going to pop out and we're going to make millions of dollars. I mean, it's not what it is. But on that note, Pat and I, he was getting to that. We're going to be doing some free content together. We're trying to put on a Ron Musgraves, Pat Clark, basically my sales, Pat's sales, which is similar, but there's different nuances to both of them. And Pat's got this residential thing down. You know me, Pat. I tell people all the time, I don't want to talk about residential. Don't ask me to do it. I wash a lot of houses, but I wash them for free. But that's another story. Everybody always goes, why are you washing houses for free? And so I'm not washing houses for money. I just never been into residential. And getting back to what I do, people don't realize this. All I do is reoccurring revenue. I don't take one and dones. I tell them to call my competitors. My competitors are very frustrated because they do the initial cleaning on the place, and then the customer tells them, no, Ron's going to be taking care of the maintenance. and I used to get calls from them all the time. What's going on, man? I thought you gave me that customer. I said, no, I let you do the initial cleaning because they wanted to do a one and done. And then we sold them on the reoccurring account, and that's what Pat's working on now. Like you said, this code, man, should have been cracked a long time ago, Pat, because the bottom line is everything is on subscription now. The car, let's go through the things. The car wash. What else? The gym's been on subscription for a long time. No one pays $10 to go to the gym every day. Hey, I'm coming to the gym. Here's my $10. No, they want you on subscription. That's probably one of the oldest people in the game doing subscriptions. You know what I mean? Like gyms have been doing subscriptions for a long time. What are some of the other things now? I mean, it's gotten insane.
Amazon. I mean, Amazon's on subscription. Like my stuff shows up, right? I'm like, oh man, what do we get next, right? But Amazon's got the subscription. You got food subscription now. Like literally everything is on subscription now. If you really dive into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. So Alan learned a lot from you from the Houston event. Man, that takes it back, doesn't it?
Yeah, Houston.
Look at that. There it is. Everybody remembers Pat Clark for Goya. We won't say what that is. We'll leave the audience to wonder what Goya is. We'll let them get that.
The Goya days.
More than likely, Pat and I are going to do our first event. We're going to do a free event, and it's going to be we're not giving any details yet, but it's going to be announced. It'll be in Georgia. And it'll be the first event that we do. We thought we were going to do it in South Carolina, but it looks like it's going to be in Georgia. And we're going to do that event. And then our plan is, if things work out, my schedule, Pat's schedule, we can potentially do these events and do free events, all over the country. And we're limiting them to 200 to 1,000 people, whatever happens. But that's the kind of events we're looking at doing. 200 to 1,000 people. And I know some people are going, well, that's a pretty big number. No, that's the number that we're going to have come out. It's going to be between 200 and 1,000 people. And yes, it's going to be a training event. It's going to be a big training event. There's going to be a lot of classroom stuff, but Pat and I always want to get out of the classroom because there's things that go with the sales process that you have to learn outside of the classroom.
Yeah. And it's cool too, Ron, because we have a Charlotte location, we got Texas locations. So we're gonna do shop tours. So we're gonna show you inside the shops and stuff like that. We're gonna be going out, doing some cleaning, hands-on. And I think the big thing is like really touching, feeling, seeing how we do it. Commercial walkarounds, like what we look for on a commercial building that kind of bit us in the butt, right? Like learn from our mistakes too. I know I'll do a walk around, might be a hotel. We've done it before. And just things we've looked at concrete wise, like you name it, we're going to look at it, right?
We'll do a live demo and sell the property right there because we've both done that.
We've both done it. That's right. Yep.
Are we the only guys that's ever done that? I know I've done it like 3 or 4 times. I know you've done it at least a couple. So
yep. Yeah. I know when I did the Sales Boost on sites, and we would sell them there. When I would do the demos for Sales Boost Live, we would sell them, which was really cool because everybody was like, I sold one over the phone, and they were like, they were recording it with the phones and stuff. It was a lot of fun. And, it's cool because, those little nuances, right, that you pick up from you or me that they can implement. And, right, it's the speed of implementation. And this isn't going to be a free event where you just hear something, you're like, oh, that was a good event, good food, but I didn't get to do anything. Like, that's not what this is going to be. This is going to be like, you're really going to be able to implement this stuff in an easy way that will get you guys, success right away, right? We want you to get those wins.
I'm still blown away, Pat, because you've got decades worth of experience. I've got decades worth of experiences. We're kind of in a different era, because we've got all these new kids coming on board now, and we see how they can exponentially increase the model and scale. And it's because of technology. It really is. I mean, you came in on that and basically you didn't have the technology. You saw what I was dealing with building it for the first 25 years, because that's about when you came in and met me, I was already 25 years doing it. And then you came in and you saw that, and it wasn't easy. It took years to get 20 trucks. Now these young lads, 2 or 3 years, they got 8 or 9 trucks. And there's veterans out there that are still struggling because they will not look at the technology. And until that young kid puts an 8 truck deal together in his neighborhood, and then they go, well, wait a minute, I guess it is time for me to change, and we're gonna kind of wrap all these things in together, because fundamentally all the things are the same, but just adopting and using the technology, it just makes everything speed up quicker. And that's the cool thing about it, because we're going to show these guys how to take what we've known and wrap the AI into it to make things easier. I always try to tell people AI is not going to take away jobs. It's just going to make somebody more effective and more efficient. And if you don't do it, whether you're a laborer or whether you're a technical guy or whether you're the CEO, if you're not using it, you're going to be left behind, because they're going to find somebody that is using it, because that person's going to be able to do 10 times what a person used to be able to do without it. Do you think it's 10 times, or do you think it could be more?
Well, say that again. Is it what kind of times?
What do you think it's going to be? You think that you get an employee without using AI versus the one using AI, it's tenfold.
It's tenfold. It's a game changer. I have VAs right now that are using AI, and like what we used to do in like a week, we're doing in an hour. You know what I mean? Like it's a game changer for anything you're doing, right? Like you can hook these things up to your calendar, to your email. I get an email from AI that's a summary of my email inbox. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a game changer. So I know all my top priorities, it prioritizes for me. So it's really neat to be able to see that, to where you can hook these things up to all your apps.
Yeah. Integration.
Yeah.
That happened in 1995. It was called Windows.
Yeah.
And they thought it was going to put everybody out of work then. And it didn't. You know what I mean? It didn't. And it's not going to put everybody out of work now. And they're always, people I don't think realize this. Even the robots are going to need to be taken care of by humans. At least that's the first. They might get started taken care of by other robots eventually, but there's always going to be the human connection. And the sales process and the marketing process, people are still, they're not ready to let go of that. It's like the telephone book, the fax machine. It's going to take more time than what people think it's going to take. It's going faster. You can't doubt that, but it's still, the human connection is still, I just don't believe that's ever going to be lost. I just don't see it.
Yeah, it might go away, but it's human nature, right? We want to associate with other people, you know what I mean? So then we're going to be looking at community, right? And that's where I think free events, like you're actually communicating with other people that are in your industry that has the same frustrations, right? So like that's where we come together for like events. I can't, you know, when I went back and we would go to events, I got all my like really, really good friends like yourself from events. You know what I mean? And so that's never going away.
I mean,
Never
that's
going
how we need each other, right? I mean, and you really think about this. The
away.
staple of the industry is probably made off of those past events, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad to getting back into it in a bigger way. I've always done my sales thing. You've seen I move around the country and do them here, Denver, here and there. Stay on the
Yep.
West Coast a lot. I think the last time, first I've been, I think I did the one in Chicago here a few months ago in April. And then I think probably the last time I was in Florida was probably 4 years ago. So I haven't really been on the East Coast doing much of anything in a few years. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And you know, let's mention this again in closing. Huge convention, you're speaking. I highly recommend. I went to the seed event and spoke, and man, I was rusty, man. You better go get some smaller speaking engagements. Go down to BNI and start talking to crowds, because I was horrible I was horrible in Reno. I really was. Now I was way better when I did Chicago because I knew how bad I was in Reno. Because you know, you think it's like riding a bicycle, but you know, here I am. I'm the guy telling everybody, you got to practice, just like a music recital. You got to practice the instrument. You got to take batting practice if you think you're going to get in the batter's box because you're going to strike out. And here I went in thinking, you know, my head was so big that I just would knock the socks off these folks. It was horrible, man. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. And I was just like, okay, that wasn't what I wanted it to be. So, you know, I started making phone calls, because that's what you do. All you got to do is start making phone calls, start talking to people, bring up the lingo, you know what I mean? Do that. And you got to have that practice. And then there's nothing, I think, that people don't realize. It's easier, and it's easier for me to get up in front of customers. I can get in a room of 500 customers relatively easy. But when you get up in a room to motivate your peers, it's a little bit more pressure. You know what I mean? It's a lot more pressure. And it's still, I don't want to say I get nervous necessarily, but it's a little bit more nervousness and a little bit more heart fluttering than if you're talking to customers. At least that's the way it is for me.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. Yeah, because you know your stuff, right? And when you go to a customer, you know, they don't necessarily know, but you know, like you got this stuff ingrained in your brain. But, you know, to that point too, is like, you know, if I can just, you know, inspire one person out of that audience, you know, I've done my job. And that's kind of the goal, is like, you know, tell your story, come from the heart, right? Give the stuff that they need to be successful. And, you know, it is what it is. So, but to your point, I actually got a couple that I need to do beforehand. So I'm excited for that. And then we have our conference right before it. So I should be like ready to go for the huge. So yeah, I'm super pumped. We're going to be down there the whole week. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which is the 24th, 25th, and 26th, that's our conference. Like I said, it's going to be small, you know, 35, 40 people max. And then we got the huge convention, the 27th. I speak on the 28th. So
super. Tell me, I know this, so I'll let the audience know this. It'll be Georgia first. We're probably going to do Tennessee second. And then you mentioned the other sites. Name all the other sites. Get these people excited. What are the other sites?
Austin, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina. We'll probably do Houston, Texas. Probably do one in Houston, and then
maybe we'll do Phoenix. Maybe we'll do Los Angeles. Maybe
that would be awesome.
We'll see.
Yeah, we need to do one out in Phoenix for sure.
Yeah. Oh man, 5th largest city in the United States. There's no way. And these guys out here are eating it up. There's there's so much reoccurring revenue, and it's nonstop. There's nothing in your way out here. There's no seasons. There's no nothing. Seasons don't have it. Of course, you're done with seasons now. You don't even believe in seasons anymore, do you?
Don't even got to worry about it on the reoccurring. Yep. That's the beauty in it.
No, seasons don't get in effect anything. Well, hey, Pat, I appreciate your friendship over all the years, man. People don't know this. We met each other, I believe, at the 2008 or 2009 conference. I know you came to both of the ones in Myrtle Beach. I think we did those back to back. We might have done We might have done 3. Maybe you were only at 2, but I know you were at 2. But
Yep.
we did 3, and I know you were at 2 of them. And then that's where you met AC. AC,
Yep.
people don't even realize this. AC launched soft wash systems with NCE. The first appearance he actually made in the industry was Tampa. I don't think you were there, 2009, and then he came back in 2010.
All I
Those were
remember,
his
I'll never forget it, because he did it legendary with the black curtains, and
Yep.
he hit everything. And the skid, man, that was the first skid. I'll never forget that.
That
Yeah,
was in Charleston, though. Remember
Charleston. That's right.
all the music, dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun.
He did it. I mean, shoot, that was
It
awesome.
was wild. Popcorn marketing.
That's right.
I won't forget that ever. Popcorn marketing. There's one thing AC can do, man, is he's a showman and he can market. There's no doubt about that. He can clean too. He don't do it, but he doesn't do it, but he can clean. So, hey, Pat, appreciate you. Dates one more time on the sub club, and by the way, guys, if you're interested in the sub club, they're going to do an introduction thing on Tuesday night. Make sure that you hit that link and get signed up, because you got to sign up to get into it. So It's free to get into it to hear what's going on with sub club, and it's Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, or is it, what time is it?
It's actually at 7
Eastern time. So 7 Eastern time this next Tuesday, Pat and Dealin will be doing that. So make sure you do that. If you want to find out about their show in Orlando that's happening in August, right before the huge, make sure you get the information on that, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, and all the other guys that are going to see this. Don't forget, I've got an entire July prize giveaway. Go check out all the events at nationalcleaningexpo.com. Pat, you take us out tonight, man. I'm done. Go ahead.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate everybody being in. Look, get out there, make it happen. It's July, but happy 4th of July. Have a blast. Love up on the family. And then next week, let's get it, guys. We're going to crush it and have an amazing rest of the year.
Adios, guys.